everyone, welcome back to Kirklees Guitar School. In today's electric guitar lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play Ziggy Stardust by David Bowie from the Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars album. It's easy for you to say. There's a full free PDF which I'm going to keep referencing in today's lesson. It's a four-page PDF that I've personally transcribed. You can download that for free from the first link in the description. That'll take you to our website. And there's nearly 100 other free tabs that you can download there for a variety of songs of a similar ilk to this one. I'd head over there, some really cool stuff to check out. Completely free, don't want anything from you. Right, here are the chords that we're using in today's lesson. Now, there's a lot of chords in it, but actually once you start kind of picking some of these shapes apart, you can see it's kind of the same thing. Round and round and round. There's a lot of this idea with the, if you're looking at the G5, the C add 9, the G over B, the D sus4, they're doing that kind of, I've borrowed, I sort of think of Wonderwall was the first song I ever learnt with those chords in, where you basically keep those two fingers on the B and the high E strings, the 3rd fret. So going back to that, we've got a G5, a C add 9, and a G over B is what we're going to start with, and this is the bit that everybody wants to learn, which is the so let's break that down. I'm hoping I can get a play along for this out at some point. If as and when that's available, I'll put it in the description and I'll put a card up as well. That'll also be available on the website. I think this is one that if you can actually see me doing it, I think it will help you a little bit. So I'm going to start with the G5 chord. So I'm going to play your regular G, but then I want you to take the 3rd fret of the B string as well, and then remove the index finger. Now, if you don't want to remove the index finger, it's not the end of the world, but we're looking for a short, sharp G. And then can you see here, we've got a rest. Now what that means is we're going to play the chord, and then I'm just going to touch the strings of the guitar to stop it from resonating. Moving into the second portion of the bar down here, we're going to move to a D chord. I'm going to strum the D chord with a downstroke. And then I'm going to use my little finger to press the 3rd fret of the high E string. I'm going to do an upstroke with the plectrum. I'll take the finger off, finger on, finger off. Can you see down here? So I'm holding the D shape and I'm using my index finger to press the 3rd fret down. I take it off and pluck the string again, etc. Watch that. And then I'm with an upstroke, I'm going to catch the B string, which is still in this D shape. Now it's really important that you're doing down and up picking there. Then I'm going to head to my C add 9 shape, which is the same as the G, but I'm going to take these two fellas down. Bearing in mind I'm still pressing the B and the high E string, and I'm going to strum that with a downstroke. And then you see how you've got the C add 9, you've got the G over B, and then they're followed by these 3 notes. This is 2 guitar parts layered on top of each other. Now I'm taking this as the approach of I'm the only guitar player on the gig, so I've kind of got to do both bits, and I'm giving you the cool stuff to play along with. If you can't seem to get these in time, just hit the C add 9 and the G and the D, G add 9, G over B, and the D, and it'll sound fine, but I always try and get these little twiddly bits in if I can. So I'm going to strum this C add 9. With an upstroke, bearing in mind my fingers are still in the right position for these notes because I'm holding this C add 9 chord down. So I'm going to pick the B string with an upstroke, I'm going to pick the G string with a downstroke, and then pick the B string with an upstroke. Did you hear that? I'm then going to move my fingers to the G over B shape, which I'm going to keep these two fellas down here. I'm going to take the middle finger off, and I'm going to take the index finger and I'm going to put it up onto this 2nd fret of the A string, which gives you the B. And then I'm going to repeat the same motion. I'm going to strum the chord, and then I'm going to pick the B, G, B. Let me play these 2 chords back to back. And then I'm going to finish with a D sus4, which by taking this finger, bearing in mind throughout these 2 fingers have been on the B and the high E string, I'm going to move that down to the 2nd fret of the G string, and then I'm just going to give that one of those, okay? C, G, D. Play the whole thing for you. Now that's supposed to be That's supposed to be quite messy. You might hear occasionally, I might pick the wrong string. I don't think there's an exact science to it the way that Mick Ronson's playing it. I think he's just picking that for an embellishment, but like I said before, it's definitely two guitar parts layered on top of each other, and I'm trying to sort of serve both masters at the same time. So that's the first bit. That's the bit everybody wants to learn how to play, so hopefully I've satisfied that itch for you. And that's the first page, that's the top of the first page of the PDF labelled the intro. Pause the video and get that on your fingers if you need to. If you're feeling fairly confident, let's move on to the next bit. So this verse, it's very effective. There's not a lot in it, but it's very effective. Now, the fourth page of the PDF is going to be your friend from this point out, because the fourth page of the PDF has got all your chords on it, okay? So it might just be worth having this printed out alongside you while you're running through this with me. So we're going to start with the G5 like we did previously. But we're going to let that ring for 4 beats of the bar, and the lyric there is Ziggy play guitar. We're then going to move to B minor. Now, if you want to do the bar chord B minor, be my guest, but I personally play it here. I don't know why, I just like it that way, which is 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, and I play it like a D chord, I strum 4 strings, and again, I'm holding that for 4 beats, jamming good with Will and Gilly, and then we're going to go to a C chord. Now, the C chord lasts for 2 beats, because we've got this nice little this nice little walk around. So let's have a look at this and then we'll glue it all together. So after I've played the C chord, I'm going to use my 2nd finger on that C note, the 3rd fret of the A string, and I'm going to pick all this with alternate picking. 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 4th fret. So you can see how although I start on the middle, I'm using my middle finger because I can go either way and I can utilise all 3, sort of my 3 most dominant fingers. Down and up picking, 3, 2, 3, 4. I'm then going to pick the open D string, index finger for a 2 and a 0, and then I'm going to move up a string and I'm going to do a 2 and a 0, which is a B and an A on the A string. Whole thing, G, 2, 3, 4, and B, 2, 3, 4, C, 2. That, we're coming back here, don't fret. The second part of the verse, we go to a G for 4 beats. Now, instead of going to that chord that we did previously, I say that chord we did previously, which is a B minor, we're going to go to an E this time. We're then going to go to an A minor, and then a C. Now I'm aware there's other like bits of lead guitar parts going on. I'm taking my approach for all my lessons that I'm a working guitar player as well as a guitar teacher. I go out and play, and oftentimes I'm the only guitarist on the gig. So if I put all those sort of cool widdly solo-y bits in, yeah, it'll sound cool, but the entire floor of the song will just, the bottom of the song will just all fall out. So there's 1,000,001 tabs. If you want those extra little bits, put them in, but I think you're much better off playing the backing parts. Mick Ronson will have been playing those parts when he were playing live with Bowie. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me. Both those parts glued together look like this, so let me play that all for you. G, B, C. Second line, G, E minor, A minor, to C. Now I don't know if you can see this funny looking bracket up here, and then can I point to it over here all the way down here? Those are called repeat markers. So what that means is for verse 1 you're going to repeat these 8 bars twice before you move on to the next section. So pause the video, get that under your fingers if you need to. If we're feeling fairly confident, let's have a look at the next bit. We've nearly got the whole song. So, am I going to call this the pre-chorus? Maybe. We're still on the first page of the PDF, mind. So we're going to play an A5 chord, which is an A power chord on fret 5 of the E, 7th fret of the A, 7th fret of the D string. And what I'm going to do is we're going to play 5 short, sharp notes and then put a rest in. You see this funny looking 7 here? That's called a quaver rest. So what you're going to do is you're going to play 4 semiquavers, you're going to play 4 really fast notes, 1 quaver, which is a little bit longer, and then you're going to pause for a quaver. And that takes up the first 2 beats of the bar. Now the rhythm goes... So it's like a... Yeah? I've got that first, because you go in between an A5 and a G5 and it's exactly the same. And I want you to think of it as da-da-da-da-da, stop, da-da-da-da-da, stop. Yeah? I'm doing down and up picking. Mick Ronson, he does kind of sound like he's doing it downstrokes, but to be honest, I can't tell you to do that in good conscience as a guitar teacher because it's terrible technique. It just doesn't feel right, whereas sounds much better to my ear. Moving to the second bar, you're going to take that shape, as often a lot of this stuff from the 70s does. It goes down another 2 frets, and we're going to play this F5. But then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, so that's index finger on first, ring finger on third, pinky on third of the E, the A and the D strings. I'm going to play that, and then I'm going to remove my index finger to get 0, 3, 3, which does sound a bit discordant. You're not going to impress your mates down the pub playing this chord. But if you see how I'm sort of coming on and off, and I do that, I come on and off, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. I'm over here, second to last note, and then I'm going to do an elbow transposition. I'm going to kick it up 2 frets to that G5, which kind of bridges the chords, doesn't it? So can you see how I'm sort of going 2 frets at a time? And I'm sort of going round like this. Let me play the whole thing. As you can see, like I did here, we've got repeat markers either side, so that means we're going to repeat this 3 times. And then we're going to play 4 D chords. And then we're going to go to E major, not E minor, E major, it's the 3-fingered one, it's this one over here. I'm looking top right, E major. And I'm going to hit that in quavers. I'm going to hit it 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then you see over here we've got a load of zeros. I'm going to do an upstroke and I'm going to let go of all the strings. If you watch the Bob Dylan video I did recently, we talked about this. It's just a really good kind of like transition, a messy kind of almost like punky kind of transition to the next part. So we're going to go back to the main riff of the song. So let me glue those 2 bits together. Assuming I'm going to play this for the 3rd time, okay? So we're on the 3rd time. And then I think it's bitched about his fans and should we crush his sweet hand. Yeah, now Mick Ronson might strictly not do that. I mean, the internet police are probably going to come after me for that, but that's what I tend to do in those big kind of sections. I'll go. And it just gives you that little bit more kind of flavour of what we're going after. So from this point, that's the entire first page of the PDF. And those are all the sections that we've got of the song. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take you through the remaining sections in the order that they come up. But there's nothing in here that we haven't already done. There's just a couple of slight little variations. So we've just come from that. We then go into what's labelled the main riff at the top of page 2. So into verse 2. Now, main riff is just the same as the intro. You're going to repeat that twice and then go into verse 2. Now, verse 2 is exactly the same as verse 1, except you don't repeat it. You just play the 8 bars and then we head straight into the pre-chorus and into the part that we literally discussed about a minute and a half ago, which is the into the D and the E. Now that should take you to to the bottom of the second page of the PDF. The main riff at the top of page 3 should also say ending, because this is how the song finishes. The main riff we're going to play 3 times. Do that bit 3 times, and then what we're going to do, we're going to go to the second line that you can see on the screen, which the first bar of both lines are identical, aren't they? Then we're going to go to a big fat C add 9, and we're going to hold that for 2 bars, and then we're going to play a big G5. Now, what that looks like, that's the Ziggy played guitar. Now, I want you to be led by the record on that, okay? Because I can tell the band are watching each other, and they're all wanting to finish at the same time. They could be watching Bowie, they could be watching the drummer. The drummer's name escapes me. Let me know in the comments if you know what Bowie's drummer was called. And that's the whole tune. Now, tone-wise, Mick Ronson was known for using a 1968 Gibson Les Paul, what would have been a Black Beauty if he'd have kept all the paint on it, but he stripped the top, which is an absolute travesty. I can't think of, excellent guitar player. Keep that finish on. I mean, look at them, the works of art, aren't they? And he used a Marshal Major, which is a 200-watt Marshall plexi head, and he was known to not use any pedals, just sheer volume getting his tones. Richie Blackmore used the Marshal Majors as well. Although Mick Ronson's was modified, it was known as the Pig, apparently. I'm not a modding kind of person. I just know that they've done something, they messed about with it, probably to get more gain and less headroom out of a 200-watt valve amplifier, because it's probably one of the loudest things on planet Earth. Today I'm using a R7 gold top. It's an absolutely stunning gold top, and I'm using a Boss Katana 50 Gen 3 on the pushed setting. My gain's on 3 o'clock, my volume's on 9 o'clock, bass is on 10 o'clock, middle's on 10 o'clock, treble's on 12 o'clock. I've got a splash of spring reverb, and I'm on the half power control setting, which I think is the 25-watt setting. Now, I'm using the neck pickup, bridge pickup. I'm using the bridge pickup on the Les Paul, and I say this all the time. You just it wants to sound like a pushed amplifier. I can still hear the sparkle of the strings, because if you're too distorted, it'll just sound mushy, okay? You want that clarity, but you want it to just have a little bit, showing its teeth just a little bit. So I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you've got any recommendations for songs you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments. You can head to the first link in the description and download the PDF for free, along with nearly 100 other guitar lessons completely for free. Don't want anything from you. Really going to help you with this lesson. I'm going to see if I can do a play along for this. A lot of the people that watch my videos have said it's great lessons, but I'd like to see you play it. For a variety of reasons, this is difficult. As I'm recording this video, my next job is to see if I can make one of those for you. If, as and when that's available, I'll put it here, so you can click on that and watch it, or alternatively, I'll leave it in the description. If that doesn't happen, I'll put another lesson up here that you might like the look of, that's in a similar ilk to this one. Thank you so much. I'll see you next week for another electric guitar lesson. Cheers.